The cameras of Screen Sport bring you exclusive pictures of one of the most spectacular and dangerous sports in the world today. It's World Championship Speedway action. This week we go to Sweden. Hello and welcome along to Linköping in Sweden for the 1990 staging of the Scandinavian Speedway final. 6 riders from Denmark, 6 from Sweden and 2 from Norway and Finland contesting this meeting. And all of these riders looking for 7 places only to progress further in the World Championship trail, and that is the Intercontinental Final, which takes place in Fjellsted, Denmark on August the 12th. And obviously the goal then is to get to the big one, the World Individual Speedway Champion, which this season goes to Oslo Stadium in Bradford in England on Saturday, September the 1st. Well, the scene is set, the weather is fine, the track is in superb condition. Let's see how they progress in 28 of superb speedway action. So with a 15-minute delay due to getting the large crowd into this picturesque setting in Linköping in Sweden, the riders now, nerves set as they meet the crowd, are presented to the large Swedish crowd which have turned up in their droves to support the 6 Swedish riders that are through. And I can tell you there's also a large contingent of Danish people who have made the trip across the small sea that separates these two countries. There we're looking down the line, Brian Carger with the OK on his race jacket. Come on Brian, give us a smile. Very nervous young lad, failed at this stage of the competition in 1989, out to do better in 1990. So heat number 1, Jano Peterson in red, Kai Niemi from Finland in blue, Conny Iversen from Sweden in white, and there in yellow and black, the current World Individual Speedway Champion, Hans Nielsen. The 1990 Scandinavian final is about to get underway. And away they drive from the start, and the first to show is Jano Peterson and Conny Iversen as well. Hans Nielsen driving around the outside is in his last position at the moment. Well, that's the first shock already, as early as the first turn in heat number 1, but it's Jano Peterson from Denmark with 1 lap gone in first place. Conny Iversen from Sweden in second place, and the wary old Finn Kai Niemi in third. Peterson looks over his shoulder, sees there's a fair gap between him and Conny Iversen. But the surprise is that Hans Nielsen is way back in 4th place, and we have to ask if he's got mechanical problems. He certainly is not looking down at his machine, but it's a rare sight to see Hans Nielsen way back in 4th place and totally out of things. Peterson in red, Conny Iversen in blue with 1 lap to go of this opening race in the Nordic Speedway Championship final of 1990 as the sun blazes down in Linköping in Sweden. It's the tiny Dane, Jano Peterson, who comes up to take the checker flag. Peterson wins, 3 points for him, 2 points for the man in second place, who's Conny Iversen from Sweden, and 1 to Kai Niemi. And the world champion Hans Nielsen is back in 4th place with no points after his first outing in heat number 1. So heat number 2, and there in red is Peter Norlin from Sweden, the 16th and final qualifier for this meeting. He came through the reserves race on practice day on the Friday, again the 16th qualifying place. He's in red going into gate number 1. Jens Henry Nielsen, Hans Nielsen's brother, is in blue in gate 2. Henrik Gustafsson, white, gate 3. And Arnt Forland, the Norwegian rider, in yellow and black in gate number 4. That's the lineup for heat number 2. We've already had one major surprise with Hans Nielsen trailing home in 4th place in heat number 1. We just wonder what 19 races have got left in store for us in this 1990 Nordic final. The green light goes on, the tapes rise and away they roll, and the first to show is the rider in blue, which is Henry Nielsen, but coming around the outside is Arnt Forland. Gustafsson now overtaking Peter Norlin for 3rd place. Gustafsson driving around the outside of Jens Henry Nielsen, but it's the Norwegian which is a bit of a surprise after 1 lap. Arnt Forland in 1st place, Henke Gustafsson 2nd, Jens Henry Nielsen 3rd. Oh wow, my word, this would be a little bit of a surprise upturn for the books yet again in this Nordic final if Forland can hold on. 2 laps gone. It's Gustafsson with the work to do. Forland drifting out slightly wide. Can Gustafsson cut underneath? They're getting very close now. Gustafsson making up a tremendous amount of ground, now trying the outside line, cutting back. Has he got the speed as he goes to the yellow flag? 1 more lap to go, still Forland in front. Gustafsson on the outside. Then can he do it down the back straight? Gustafsson with a challenge on the inside. Gustafsson cuts underneath Forland. Gustafsson's there. Oh, and down goes Arnt Forland, but it's Gustafsson who takes the checkered flag. Arnt Forland is the faller. Coming through to 2nd place is Peter Norlin, and Jens Henry Nielsen gets a 1 point. But my word, what a brave ride from this rider in white, Henrik Gustafsson from Sweden, who gets 3 points as he wins heat number 2.
Ja, efter den mycket dramatiska heaten så åker Arne Sandland omkull och det var ju väldigt otur för honom. Det var hård kubbning där, men jag tyckte han gick skjuts till.
Well, let's take another look in slow motion of that incident on the last bend of heat number 2. It gets very close, but as you can see, no, was there any contact? Well, referee Frank Ebden from England says no. I'm sure that one or two other people will say yes, but it's Henke Gustafsson who gets the 3 points as he wins heat number 2. So heat number 3, the excitement carrying on. Dennis Lufquist from Sweden red, Brian Carger Denmark blue, Einar Killingstad from Norway 3, and Jan Petersen gate 4, heat number 3. And away they drive from the start, and the first to show is Dennis Lufquist in red and Brian Carger in blue. Brian Carger from Denmark, and of course rides for Swindon in the British League. Dennis Lufquist from Sweden and Kings Lynn in the British League. These are the two in the forefront, with Einar Killingstad in 3rd place at the moment. Well, Carger reached this stage of the World Championship last season, but failed in the sunshine of Chamber. Oh my word, and now all of a sudden 2 riders whiz past Brian Carger. It's Dennis Lufquist now in 1st place, Einar Killingstad 2nd, Brian Carger 3rd, and what it looks very much to me as though Carger has got problems with his engine. He's looking round to see whether he can hold out the rider in yellow, Jan Petersen from Denmark. But it's Dennis Lufquist from Sweden who's speeding away from the field, but surely looking good for 3 points as he gets well clear of Einar Killingstad. Brian Carger sadly now back at the rear of the field, and after making the early pace in heat number 3. But this gentleman won't mind. From Sweden and from the tiny island of Gotland, it's going to be the rider in red, Dennis Lufquist, who wins. 2nd place is Einar Killingstad. In 3rd place is Jan Petersen, and Brian Carger, sadly no points after leading after 1.5 laps. Dennis Lufquist, the winner of heat number 3. So heat number 4, Olli Travainen from Finland in red, Per Jonsson from Sweden blue, Bo Petersen from Denmark white, and Jimmy Nilsson from Sweden in yellow and black. That's the lineup for heat number 4. So we've got a Finn, a Dane and 2 Swedes. Very Scandinavian for this particular heat. Watch for the riders in blue and yellow and black, the 2 Swedes. Represent Sweden in the World Pairs in the forthcoming weeks. 2 riders both represent Stockholm United in the Swedish Elite League. And certainly they'll be the 2 to watch as the tapes rise on heat number 4. Starting marshal calling them in. Frank Ebden puts the green lights on. And away they drive from the start, and who is going to be the first one to show? It's Jonsson in blue, Nielsen in yellow, but it's Jonsson just with his nose in front at the moment. Has he got the speed down the back straight? Yes, he has. So it's Per Jonsson just in front of Jimmy Nilsson 2nd. As one expected, these 2 Swedes with 1 lap gone are setting the pace in heat number 4. Bo Petersen in 3rd place, holding out Olli Travainen, who's in 4th, but it's the action style of Per Jonsson, who of course rides for the Reading 4X Racers in the British League. Jimmy Nilsson in 2nd place, Bo Petersen 3rd. Certainly Per Jonsson looking very, very good at the moment. 1 more lap to go in heat number 4. This will be all the riders now had their first outing in this Nordic final. And Jonsson looking set surely for 3 points, barring engine failure or a fall in the last 2 turns. And he's too wise for a fall. So Jonsson coming out of the final turn, looks over his shoulder. It's Jonsson that wins. Jimmy Nilsson in 2nd place and Bo Petersen in 3rd. So 3 good points for Per Jonsson as he wins heat number 4. 2 points for Jimmy Nilsson and 1 for Bo Petersen.
How many riders would you hope to get along? I mean, there are only 7 riders now going out of the Nordic to the Intercontinental. I mean, usually the Danes have had 5 or 6, you know, the last years. I mean, how many would you expect this year?
Well, to be realistic, I would say we'll be glad if we get three riders through, but and be happy for 4. And we've had the problem that we lost Erik Gundersen and Tommy Knudsen over the last year or so, and of course they're riders that you always could count on that would go through a round like this. And this year we only have, you know, a few of the pro free riders from England and a couple of amateurs only riding in Denmark, and they might run into a bit of trouble. So 3, I would be satisfied with 3, and very happy if we get 4 through to the Intercontinental final.
So the action continues with heat number 5. Jimmy Nielsen in red, 2 on the trot for James. Jano Petersen in blue, winner first time out. And we also learned he's broke the track record at Linköping. 61.2 seconds for Jano, that's knocking 1.5 seconds off the existing one. Peter Nalin in white in gate 3, and Einar Killingstad from Norway in gate 4. Starting marshal calling them in, asking Jimmy Nielsen to move slightly over into his own grid in gate number 1. So the green light goes on, and the tapes rise, and who is going to be the first one that hits the first turn? It's Jimmy Nielsen in red, with Peter Nalin in white in second place, and Jano Petersen missing the gate completely on that one. Still the Swedish pair in first and second place, Jano Petersen third, Einar Killingstad really all over the place in fourth place. But it's Jimmy Nielsen with 1 lap gone. Peter Nalin still holding on to second place, and Jano Petersen snapping at his heels, which gives Jimmy Nielsen all that time to get further in front. But now through comes Pedersen to sneak into second place with 2 laps gone. It's Jimmy Nielsen first, Jano Petersen second, Peter Nalin third. Now can Petersen make up any ground on Jimmy Nielsen? Einar Killingstad way back in fourth place. 1 more lap to go. Still Jimmy Nielsen in first. No problem on the back of his leathers, and at the moment it certainly isn't, but can Jano Petersen do anything about it? So the final 2 turns of heat number 5, it's going to be a good win for Jimmy Nielsen, who takes the checker flag. Jano Petersen in second place, Peter Nalin in third, but Jimmy Nielsen is a good winner of heat number 5 and inflicts a defeat on Jano Petersen, who broke the track record in heat number 1. So heat number 6, Per Jonsson, winner first time out in red in gate 1. Dennis Lufquist, winner first time out, he's in blue in gate 2. Kai Niemi in white gate 3, and Henrik Gustafsson in yellow and black in heat in gate number 4, and this could be a real cracker. The tapes rise, and Jonsson gets a good gate from gate 1. Jonsson in first place, Kai Niemi second, Dennis Lufquist third, and Henke Gustafsson back in fourth place at the moment. But now Gustafsson trying to drive around the pack, cuts underneath Kai Niemi through to third, Jonsson first, Dennis Lufquist second, Gustafsson third, driving round Dennis Lufquist with considerable ease. Now setting his sights on Per Jonsson, which could be just a little bit of different kettle of fish. 2 laps gone, Per Jonsson in front, Henrik Gustafsson second. We've got a race on our hands here. Dennis Lufquist back in third. Niemi tailed off in fourth. Gustafsson trying the outside line. Jonsson goes out as well. Dennis Lufquist comes very close to Gustafsson. We're on the last lap of heat number 6. Per Jonsson with some breathing space between him and Henrik Gustafsson in second. So 3 points surely for Per Jonsson. It's the battle for second and third. Who's going to get the Jonsson takes the checker flag. It's just Gustafsson that holds on. Dennis Lufquist gets the 1 point in third place, and Kai Niemi in fourth place. So Per Jonsson looking pretty good as he gets his second win by winning heat number 6. So heat number 7, Brian Carger in red, who was very unfortunate first time out with engine failure. Ollie Trevainen in blue, Jens Henry Nielsen in white, and Connie Iversen from Sweden in yellow and black. And away they drive from the start, and the first to show is Brian Carger yet again. Brian Carger, but look at Connie Iversen in yellow and black. Connie Iversen from Vetlanda Speedway in the Swedish Elite League drives round Brian Carger. So Connie Iversen it is. Oh my word, drifts out very wide. Can Carger make up any ground? Still Carger in second place, Jens Henry Nielsen back in third, and Ollie Trevainen tailed off in fourth place. So Connie Iversen, who surprised a few by getting this far, but those who know him, he's a very sturdy and tidy rider, still producing the goods in the Swedish Elite League. But now Brian Carger trying to make up ground on the inside. Iversen's got his work cut out to keep Brian Carger back in second place. 1 more lap to go in heat number 7. Connie Iversen in yellow, Brian Carger red, Jens Henry Nielsen in white. So this will be a good scalp for Connie Iversen. If he can hold on 2 points in his first outing, he'll be on 5 points after 2 rides, and it's Iversen that wins. Brian Carger in second place, and Jens Henry Nielsen back in third. So Connie Iversen gets the 3 points as he wins heat number 7. So heat number 8, and Hans Nielsen, with perhaps the first time in World Championship Speedway for a long time, a little bit of pressure on him. He's in red, no points so far. Gate 1, Arnt Forlund from Norway, an unfortunate faller in his first outing. Jan Petersen in white, and Bo Petersen in yellow and black. Heat number 8. Hans Nielsen gets an absolute flyer from gate 1. It's Hans Nielsen already as they come out of the second turn. Oh my word, the rider in yellow. Bo Petersen coming underneath Hans. Bo Petersen in yellow and black. Caught the World Championship. Oh my, Nielsen drives underneath Bo Petersen. With 1 lap gone, we've already had the lead, changing hands twice. But it's Hans Nielsen at the moment just ahead of Bo Petersen. Jan Petersen third, and Arnt Forlund back in 4th place. So with 2 laps gone, it's Hans Nielsen who looks to be back in the fray of things, although he did have a fright on the first lap. With Bo Petersen, the veteran we've got to say of Danish Speedway. But it's Hans Nielsen in the red helmet colour with 1 more lap to go. Still Bo Petersen in second place, Jan Petersen in third, and around the final 2 turns, 2 bends of heat number 8, it's going to be Hans Nielsen who takes the checker flag. Hans Nielsen wins. In second place is Bo Petersen. In third place, Jan Petersen. So the world champion is back amongst the points. So Per Janssen leading on 6, Jimmy Nielsen, Henrik Gustafsson and Connie Iversen on 5, with Jano Petersen and Dennis Lufquist on 4. Join us after the break.
Emerging from the shadows of ancient mythology, the power of the new gods. Modern engineering fights historic terrain. In the warm air, exhaust fumes compete with the tang of Mediterranean herds. En route, spectators compete for prime sights. From the lap of the gods, the Acropolis Rally, Monday at 6 on Screen Sport. The ultimate amphitheater.
Get pen and paper ready. You can order the following product by phone. Are you ready for more car wars? More crashes and smashes, more thrills and spills, more incidents and accidents, more near misses and miraculous escapes, all from top professional motorsport. Fasten your seatbelt for the hottest show on wheels. It's more car wars. Plus, wacky racers. Watch drivers and riders tackle the craziest, muckiest, wildest ever motorsport challenges from the dunes of the North African desert to the swamps of Madagascar. They're crazy, they're wild, they're wacky racers. Order this brilliant double video pack by phone now. More car wars and wacky racers come with a no-risk money-back guarantee. Please allow 21 days for delivery. Order more car wars and wacky racers by phone now.
So welcome back to Linköping in Sweden, heat number 9 of this Nordic Scandinavian Speedway final. Henrik Gustafsson is in red, Bo Petersen in blue, Jano Petersen in white and Brian Carger in yellow and black. So 2 riders on 5, 1 on 3 and 1 on 2. And we're in for some cracking racing as the sun still beats down on a wonderful setting here in Linköping in Sweden. Starting marshal calling him in now. Bo Petersen, the last one to go in. He's now happy. We wait for the start of heat number 9. And away they drive from the start. And the first one to show is Jano Petersen in white from Denmark. Henrik Gustafsson and Brian Carger dicing. It's Carger in second place, Gustafsson third and Bo Petersen back in fourth. But Jano Petersen and Brian Carger, the 2 Danes, doing the biz. Oh my word! Bo Petersen has taken out Henrik Gustafsson completely. He clipped him and Gustafsson is on the track in some discomfort. Oh my word, a bit of tragedy for the 19-year-old who really is the highlight of Swedish Speedway at the moment. Became a father just 14 days ago to tiny Simon. We keep our fingers crossed. Let's take another look at that. Bo Petersen all over the place, comes out, just T-bones Henrik Gustafsson completely and sends the youngster from Kumla flying over the top of his handlebars. and we'll have to wait and see if poor Henke can take his place. We see the blue light is on, so Bo Peterson has been excluded from the restart of heat number 9. We just keep our fingers crossed that Henrik Gustafsson is okay to take his place in the restart. There we see Henrik Gustafsson in caption, the long-haired boy. Bo Peterson, who's been excluded, that's the cause of the stoppage. I don't think there's any argument about that, but there he is, look, 19 years of age. Doesn't seem none the worse for the wear. The crowd, I must tell you, in Sweden are so enthusiastic these days. It's a brand new era of Swedish racing. 1990, the Elite League is supposed to be the best in the world, and I can tell you that it certainly is. And Henrik Gustafsson is one of the characters who really makes it a treat to watch that particular league. So heat number 9, and thankfully Henrik Gustafsson taking his place in the red helmet colour. So just 3 riders only. Henrik Gustafsson in red, no rider in blue, Jano Peterson in white, and Brian Carger in yellow and black. That's the 3 riders for the restart of heat number 9. The way they drive from the start, who's the first one to show? Well, it's the same rider, it's Jano Peterson in white, Brian Carger in yellow black, trying to drive down the outside. Just hasn't quite got the speed. Henrik Gustafsson back in 3rd. Peterson so immaculate on that machine, tuned to perfection by Otto Weiss from Germany. Switch on those engines. Brian Carger back in 2nd place. A broken rocker arm was diagnosed for his engine failure first time out. The young Dane. Jano Peterson still in 1st place, Carger 2nd, and Gustafsson probably thankful to be in this race and getting the 1 point. But still, Jano Peterson, of course, who rides in the English League for Craigie Heath in the Midlands at Dudley Wood. The all-action tiny Dane. He's been so unlucky in World Championships never to win the title. Is 1990 going to be his year? He comes up to take the checker flag. It's Jano Peterson that wins. Brian Carger 2nd, Henrik Gustafsson 3rd. So Jano Peterson from Denmark gets 3 more points as he wins heat number 9.